up to 2 on a single artist. So that's a lot of money. So any artist who is not under a record label, like in the States, those are the artists that they call underground artists.
Right.
You never be mainstream until you are under a record label.
Right.
So the record label will be in charge of your videos, in charge of your, in fact, everything. They just scout for talent, record you for free, then they recoup their money from sales. Now in Zimbabwe, we used to have record labels like Grammar Records.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask that. Like we used to have Grammar.
Yeah, and because of piracy, because what happens is they record you for free, do everything for free, and then get their money from the sales. Now the sales are the ones which were taken over by piracy. Right. So that's why all our record labels are folded. So most of these that we are calling record labels these days are not record labels. Because a record label is supposed to fund you, supposed to even give you a loan.
Yeah.
You know, the house that Charles Sharamba bought, the house that Leonard Dembo bought, all these big guys, it's money from the record labels. It's a loans from the record labels.
Okay, so the problem is it the public, people that are consuming the music, that is the problem here, or it's just we don't have the proper structures in order to get those proper record labels?
The problem started when piracy was left to flourish.
Uh-huh.
That's when the problem started. Because, like I said, the normal system is artists are supposed to be recorded for free.
Yeah.
They are scouted, recorded for free, and then the money is taken from the sales. Now the sales are the ones which were affected by piracy, and there was no political will to arrest piracy, so it got out of hand. So as a result, all our record labels, they closed down.
So what would you call these, the ones that are there right now, the ones that are calling themselves record labels currently? Because there are a lot.
They're just studios.
What studio?
Yeah, they're just normal studios. Because but it's not bling, of course, to say I've got a record label, but we don't have, currently we don't have a record label in Zimbabwe. We don't. Everybody's, yeah, I will not get it.
A record label.
Because my inventions, my inventions was now impress my baby. Henry Ford had impress a baby.
When we're looking at that, we've seen, because we do have some of our artists who've managed to flourish outside the country, that we've got Anana Tuku, they're under Mukumba.
In fact, to be honest with you, the international artists, proper international artists we have currently, there are only three.
Three?
Yeah, Oliver Mtukudzi, Thomas Mafumo, and Mukomba. Period.
Yeah. Out of a country of how many songs?
Yeah, because Oliver Mtukudzi, he had a very good manager, the one who is responsible for his major breakthroughs, that lady and the Debbie Metcalf. So, and he's also under a record label in South Africa. Because under normal circumstances, it's difficult for you to make a breakthrough in another country if you are not represented by a record label that is based in that country. So Oliver Mtukudzi is marketed by a record label called Shea Records in South Africa. And in Europe and America, he was marketed by a record label that was called Putumayo. I don't know if he's still under Putumayo. So you can't just release a song, and then just because it's good, and then it becomes big in South Africa. From Norway, you can't do that. And even states, you can't make a breakthrough in the United States of America if you are not under a record label that is within United States. And panototi states macho munotone vamwe vari kutostruggle because fanira kuti handiti kune nyaya dzeageism kuti especially if you're a woman kana makore afamba you are phased out because
you're phased out.
Yeah, you're phased out. Like for example, at the moment, Nicki Minaj is on her way out because they are trying to push Cardi B. She's the replacement for Nicki Minaj. And then if you are too dark in complexion, if you're a woman, you never, they will not fund you. That's why you find it. My artists like Wana Beyonce, Wana Nicki Minaj, Wana Rihanna, they have to bleach their skin because it's an issue. And things like weight. If you are overweight, they will tell you go and sing gospel, because go pop music.
I'm loving the way Clive is just looking at it, like these are facts. I'm telling you, don't even get it twisted. It's a tough get it.
So imagine with him, an overweight lady in the States is failing to get a breakthrough because she's overweight. Another lady she's getting to get a breakthrough because she's too dark skinned. Then you imagine and then you make a breakthrough because That will never happen.
Clive Mukundu in the building.
Is our lunchtime guest. Is also the author of Poor and Famous. If you
yeah.
are an artist or want to be an artist or want to manage an artist, you need to be paying attention to what is being said. But my bars.
I think my bars are. I think let's get some WhatsApp, some questions coming through. 0731168045 hashtag Poor and Famous.
Poor and Famous.
Kuti unoita collab nemunhu
Wangu!
pane another myth yekuti munhu people think kuti ukaita collab nemunhu ari kuamerica autonoita breakthrough kuamerica. That will never happen. Peace Corps is not even known states. No one knows Peace Corps.
But
States. No one knows this.
the way they're making so much noise about
Africa, they're making noise in Africa, not because of DSTV, because DSTV is sold around Africa. But in the States, no one knows this. But in Australia, Peace Corps, Nigerians.
yes.
So people don't study these things. Anopinda industry has now as a startup. So anopinda win a lot of money kuti ndikaita chakati ndobudira kuti ndikaita music yekunze like vafana vazhinji vada kuteedzera music outside kuti utoita breakthrough you need to play something local.
That is so true. Because one of the things that we actually, because I'm part of a choir, note to note. I'm always going to put this everywhere. We went to the World Choir Games just now and we got 2 silver medals. Our best sets was when we sang our local music.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure because we sang Latin settings, but you've got people who grew up on that.
Pane a lot of my meets and one. You got to do a breakthrough on a music yekunze, I'm going to collab nemunhu yekunze.
No.
It doesn't make sense because you are going to honor the reggae.
But reggae, I think it's not going to work.
But still, the other time,
Yeah.
because you cannot try music, Zimbabwe night.
Yeah.
Like Dubaga South African is a reggae. Then it became international. You can't just take it as it is.
That's my uncle.
Never. So the truth is hidden in plain sight.
I think.
Can you do me a favor for the socials? I'll ask Ahmad to be the other actor there. Can you just ask him, see, okay, if you're too dark, what happens in the industry?
No, not in Zimbabwe.
No, even like in America, right?
Okay.
Just like,
You know what, I think looking-
chuck that gospel thing.
Righty, so.
In Zimbabwe, we don't mind.
Audience, what up?
What will respond?
Yes, okay, so we've got Clive Mukundu in the studio. He's author of Poor and Famous. We have a lot of, we're talking a lot. Okay, the problem is there's no system. The media is the biggest problem. I don't blame piracy. That's what ODS is saying. Yeah,
he's got valid points. And another point that I like is saying selling CDs is a thing of the past. It's very true. But starting some CDs, streaming and it. But the problem is countries like Zimbabwe and Japan, those 2 countries, people still love their hard copies.
They just feel so nice.
Don't panic biggest problem because if streaming yanga yakushanda Zimbabwe the normal way yaita maningiro pampas no problem. But problem manje in Zimbabwe they still love their cities and Japan has got the same problem as well.
Yeah.
So Zimbabwe and Japan still a problem.
Running low on time, I have to go back on.
Yeah.
There's too many questions. I need to answer right now.
Okay.
Because you play a song.
That's for that. That's for that.
It is a big show on ZFM Stereo, my station, your station, Captain Awesome and Ahmad. I've got a special guest in the studio, Clive Mukundu. Now, if you don't know who he is a Zimbabwean award-winning artist, guitarist, and music producer, and has recorded one of the most recorded artists in the country, having featured on over 700 local and international albums. That is a huge achievement. And this is the second book that he has out right now, Poor and Famous. Now, I'm looking at the synopsis at the back, and it says that poem famous, in which we deal extensively rather with the heartbreaks that musicians suffer when their dreams of music are shattered and when the career fails to gain traction and the anticipated wealth does not come in despite increasing popularity ratings. And that is what we're talking about today. Send in your questions on 0731 168 045.
And we had a comment coming through. This is actually from Odias Mtawarira, who says, the problem is that there is no system. There's no actual system. The media is the biggest problem. And he doesn't blame piracy for how most artists are poor and famous. Your thoughts on that?
I agree with him on where he mentioned about the system. And I think that's one thing that we touched on when we started, when we said that you need record labels. Because without record labels, where would you get the funding? Because record labels, they are supposed to scout for talent, record you for free, fund everything, and then they get their money from the sales. So all you need is talent. And then the other thing, he mentioned the media. Of course, but media has a problem. At times, our media at times favors foreign music. And I mentioned that the other time when I was traveling around the world, I noticed that in States, UK, and everywhere. So they play 100% their music in Mavo. Not because they're going to shut up, but because so they just play their own. And what you just need to do is go pick a creamy arch. Boza pananyika isina shasha, pananyika isina madofu. Saka mukaridza madofu enyu manje vanhu vanotanga kuti zvinhu zvemuzimbabwe but mukada kupika cream yacho ende mukada kuitsvaga iripo, very good cream in Zimbabwe. So the other point that you mentioned, the world over selling CDs is a thing of the past. That's very true. But problem in countries like Zimbabwe and Japan, people still have their hard copies. The music is being sold online and no one is buying. Very, very few people are buying. It's either on a diaspora, very few Zimbabweans. Even those who are trying to sell via EcoCash and other platforms, it's still very difficult.
Yeah.
People still want their hard copies. So nobody challenge anything. But if you find with the world over, people are making a lot of money from streaming. That's why 2017 hip hop in the United States of America, it overtook rock and roll as being the top selling type of music. And it was through streaming. So in Zimbabwe, we've got a problem when it comes to selling.
Now, if you're looking at Zimbabwe right now, when we're saying that this is a problem, we have no record labels and so on and so forth, and these are instruments that are required for our artists to actually make as much as they possibly can, as they are in other countries around the world. How do we fix the issue? Because you can say there's a problem, but we're trying to address how to fix the problem. Now, what are your thoughts on how we actually sit down and say, all right, gentlemen, let's make a big man now. And this situation that's going on right now in our current economic situation as well, how do we fix this and not sell dreams to each other? But you want to set up a record label and try and bring back shows in my CDs, because we know that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So what would we do?
That one is a tough question because some of the things are beyond our control. For example, the issue you mentioned about the economy is beyond our control, and the economy is one very big contributor to this problem because no one will buy a CD. So that's one major problem. And some of those people who are even buying pirated CDs, I told you to take my pirated CD, but mamire anengasina mari.
Yeah.
So the biggest contributor is the economy. So that one is totally beyond our control. And then the other thing is piracy. If piracy was dealt with when it started, it was going to be easy. So it's difficult to deal with it at the moment. And even issue record labels kutangika. And also streaming yekutenga music online. Because right now everybody has got a smartphone. It's supposed to be easy, but I don't know why culture CDs.
Well, I don't know what that, because for you to be able to buy music online, you need to have the proper monetary systems in place there. And we've got Simba who says, Kuti, in Zim, we don't have the Visa MasterCard to buy the music online. Very few people have that. So there's that access, being able to access that information.
I would like to jump in on that one, though. I see where it's coming from, but there are a number of local platforms that are trying to sell music online using mobile money transfers. And I think that's something that can be done.
That's very true.
I think it's more about educating.
Yeah.
But these platforms are there for local buyers.
For local buyers. well, yeah, there's that as well. But also, like, I want to get back to what Odious was saying about there not being any proper systems in place. When I was doing music at the time, for you to be able to be paid as an artist, you had to be registered with was it Zemura at the time?
I know it's still there.
You still have
What's missing is the record labels.
The problem that I had though with that was I called them up and I asked them, so can we get into that? And then I was told that there were already too many artists.
I know right now they're taking artists.
They're taking our artists.
They're taking, but the problem is there are a number of radio stations that are not paying up.
I wouldn't know about that. We pay our bills. We pay our bills. We're cool. We're all right.
I won't mention names, but right now, this year, we received a very thin paychecks. We received very thin paychecks from Zemura because the radio station, it must be one or two major radio stations that refuse to pay. That's another blow to us musicians.
No, but I do understand that, and it still goes back because everything we seem to be saying seems to be going back to you're going to be a famous artist, but you're going to be.
Yeah, in Zimbabwe, of course, the situation is always difficult for musicians worldwide. You don't just wake up and get big because talent is not enough for a musician to make a breakthrough.
If you do have any questions for Mono, he's still with us up until 2 p.m. Send them through to 0731168045 and also check out our social media at ZFM Stereo. We are streaming this live. So yeah, get those questions coming through.
It's the big show.
We are broadcasting live from the GTEL headquarters. Earlier this year.
So pause, I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Play a song and then we'll close it just before.
Gyms at ITF. We launched
because we've gone in.
You need to get the book now. For more information, it's them book.
Yeah,
all our clients and partners. And we are grateful for the support. Today, it is my pleasure to announce to you that the long-awaited GTEL Excellent Plus
So yes, that's what we're talking about today. If you want the book, it is Poor and Famous. Poor and Famous. Where can people get the book?
I'm self-publishing. So I'm selling it on my social media platforms.
Okay.
So they can get in touch with me on my social media platforms.
Right. Manzina could have been remember high.
Oh, and everybody beans.
Oh, we're in the same choir. We're in the same choir.
Everybody beans.
Guys, it's small, guys.
I know, you are beans. I know the kind of moon where. If you are in anything and you don't know. And that's why comrade Mkoma. Wow, okay. So yes, the book. Social media. What are your social media handles?
All of them are just called Clive Mukundu, whether it's Facebook, Facebook account, Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, all of them. Just search for Clive Mukundu.
Once DVD around I think my personal.
Yeah, my personal. I
think my personal. Ooh, yeah.
So do you think that artists in Zimbabwe can live a life where they can actually, so with the number of artists we have, we're trying to break through into the industry, can live the life that they want to live and just work with music alone, or do you feel like they should also focus on another kind of job? Like,
no, worldwide,
urban groups, and David and them, they weren't just doing music at the beginning.
Worldwide, I'm artists are not going to music. I do want to Dr. Dre and my beats, Jay-Z and Tidal, Beyonce and my boutique, apana munhu anongomira nechinhu because music is a gamble. It's a gamble. So I'm going to tell me one side chiri mawana.
Because I love for you.
But manje artists found out artists manje ukataza worldwide. Artists ane tuma persona ipa stage yaye kuti anenge achipengereka then off stage apfeka suit akutaura business executive. Zvazi ichibora ngoma zvayo kuti akatuka vanhu vese akazodai akaza hazvichashande these days because hapana brand kuda kuidentify mboko.
I'd love to close with that.
Okay.
I think they need to hear that as well with you guys.
Yeah. Anogara akadhakwa language yepabridge hapana unoramba uri pabridge ipapo.
Uri boys pabridge?
Yeah, hamuna muri boys pabridge. You need kuzvibranda. Yatanichitaura kuti Zimbabwe sound dzangu. Do you know hip hop origin yakabva kudancehall? history. It's a guy who's DJ Cool from Jamaica, I ended up in New York. They like the concept, but they didn't copy it exactly as it was. And then they studied hip hop. That's how hip hop started. South Africa, Baraita quite same concept, but the ends quite.
So guys, this is what we are still evolving.
But dance way but we are supposed to.
Because what people say,
because
probably I know they say which is dancehall is great, yes, it's our Zimbabwean sound. But the fact you're going to remember Nechisho and
no, it's a problem. The problem is
trading at too, right?
Of course, we don't sound it now.
Sorry. I was just in studio now. I was busy.
You can fuse that name. Because most of the sound, you don't even need to sing in English.
Just
they are international. I don't know. So, as long as sound you can sing in any language and people just.
How long will that stay?
Can we do that stage thing?
No, I mean in terms of for us to be able to evolve that sound.
Oh yeah, like it dance I mean, but you do it now. You do be that now sound that's Zimbabwean. As long as sound is Zimbabwean, you don't have to worry too much. From them to Kadaku song is exactly
no copyright.
Right, Ahmad, so could you set it up?
Set what up?
Those two questions for socials.
What two questions?
Okay, so let's just say artists in America, right? If you're too dark, what happens? Can you tell me that?
You know what? I wouldn't want to do that.
And then just tell me that gospel part is what they call
colorism.
They call it colorism.
Then
just tell me like the.
Do you know why I wouldn't want to get into that? Because it's not quite a Zimbabwean problem.
It's not a Zimbabwean problem.
It's not a Zimbabwean problem. You see, that's the thing. My retweets but this is just from the woke people. The problem that we're having right now is it's the same thing as trying to copy sound American. If we now look at what we have, because our problem right now is that we're not actually focusing on who am I as a Zimbabwean? What does being a Zimbabwean mean for me? Colorism, that's not our problem. We don't care. In fact, it was opposite for us because it's opposite for us. We don't have the whole ageism thing.
A lot of people said pin them states. Because you can't just pin them states.
You can't.
In Zimbabwe, of course, it's possible to states are because we worship America.
Yeah.
No worship America. So anything that goes to America, I'm going to piece up a radio. Just but they never do that.
No, but
there are
lots of responses on the Twitter.
And they're going to globalization. They don't even know what is Zimbabwe permit. And they don't care.
They don't care. So the thing is, why should we start
globalization? Because the two things you got.
I thought that when the plane was landing, they died.
Yeah, catching the plane.
You guys have runway.
So that's
look at it.
And that's something that I feel like we need to start pushing that a lot more. Zimbabwean things. And if it means going back to discover what say what the purpose was and the meaning, and then getting
no international museum in Zimbabwe. Tingadotsvaga zvinhu zvese tikaningirina hakuna international music yemuzimbabwe nekupfuura mbiri kataza hapana munhu atambodzika nemusic yemuzimbabwe kunze kwenyika isiri mbiri kunatsodyika unazoita reumani chaichaina mbira ndo international music yemuzimbabwe whether mairidza pambira kana mairidza pamaimbira Victor unongaimbira futi Mukanya imbira Choniso imbira.
Let's tie this up. Running out of time. So going in, we'll have a quick chat.
And can you Marine Sanjay Vame why pressure to come up with your own?
I know his book and I see ball beans, ball. You before deal with one Marine Sanjay Jamaica.
Stolen.
13:49 in the studio right now. Our guest, Clive Mukundu. A lot of words there, Clive.
Yeah, I talk too much, but I'm a very quiet person. I know, ningiri chokwadi chese kakushinda na mamota. Kana ushinda mota, uti pamusori na mbokushinda mota, munhu obva atambara ndokutopata kuti ginyo pamashina ogumuka opopota okushauda. then mutarapera uzoti guys makaita bo kana zvaizoti usaita chokwadi, you need to be polite and just hit it kuti ka1 bra atambira asina hapana zvingofo zvakadaro.
Now, we were getting into the whole Zimbabwean sound and everything, and then we have a comment coming through. But kana uchita marine sound yevamwe, why pressure to come up with your own?
Yeah, that's a good point. If you are making money, because the issue is about making money. Because the book is called Poor and Famous. So we don't want to be poor and famous. So if you are making money with foreign music, as long as we are making money. But in the history of Zimbabwe, the people who have made real money and made an impact worldwide, it's people who are playing sound which is very Zimbabwean. This is not new, because remember we had rock and roll, Tina Eye of Liberty, Manu Kambani was called the Jimi Hendrix of Zimbabwe. He was a serious rock guitarist, and but all of them, they died paupers. Anyone white is why? Because the sound was foreign and it's difficult. Because in what works in South Africa cannot work in Zimbabwe. So if as an artist, you need to do your research. Do your research and one out in Zimbabwe and look back in history. That's why it started history but it is what because history is not creative. History is not creative. It keeps repeating itself. Saka you need to check that. Saka pama styles of music, panama styles of music asingaunze mari muno muZimbabwe. Unoita mbiri ugorizwa pa radio ugoita sei but unongosina kana chii. And even for most, do you know 99.9% ema-artists edu anoenda diaspora unoridzira maZimbabweans. Those are not international shows.
That's true. Kungunda ngokwira wondeg.
Unoridzira maZimbabweans 50 muka classroom. That's not an international show.
Just a quick one from me. Before Amar takes over and before we close up, looking at artists in Zimbabwe right now, what are your thoughts on the fact that with an artist who spend, or with the number of artists that they will spend all their time and all their passion and all their money on just music without diversifying into maybe having another job, or how they say don't quit your day job. But is it worth the risk of getting in there and saying I'm an artist, hell bent for this one only?
Worldwide, you find that all artists, whether big or small, they have side projects. I can give examples. Dr. Dre has got Beats, Jay-Z has got Tidal, Beyonce and my boutique, Oliver Mtukuzane, Aikobo, Ani Pakaripaya, and everybody has got something per side. Because music is a gamble. So that's why I always tell my artists as well, you need to brand yourself. And most artists worldwide right now who are making real money, they've got two personas. One person a stage here, then the other person Africa masuta garani executive who discuss a business. Do one real money people like P Diddy. Ananga Africa heavy suit garapani. Manjo kaita artists where garongo buda newspapers warwane vanhu unogara wakadhakwa unogara. No brand will want to be identified with you, and kune anonzi kama corporate endorsements. And at times people make more money through endorsements than talent. Because what happens is, let's say ndaita mbiri nokuridza base company base yama inongoti alright toda kuita deal newe kuti pese paunoridza unobuda wakabata base redu isusu and wakatopfeka t-shirt yedu paalbum rese rawaridza paunyoronzi base rakaridzwa naMukundu achiridza Yamaha. Just that is chete utonzi ndingiri pemonth tenchipa $10,000 wagara kumba apa kungoti 1 or 2 magigs waenda ungonobuda uchiridza wakabata Yamaha but paruto just that anonzi endorsements. And muno muZimbabwe that idea is picking up, and tamu New Zimbabwe business mazhinji ari kutanga kusimuka right now. Things are happening, so artists need to clean up their image. No one would want to be identified with you.
So now looking at that, Kuti, you were saying, Kuti, sometimes you have to be, because you obviously have to be listening to other people who have been in the industry to be able to progress yourselves, because you don't want to start from zero when someone left it at 7. And you see, how do you feel like pride is a problem when it comes to music career? And do you have any examples for us?
Many examples. We've got a lot of people we've got brains that are too small for big talent. They've got very big talent, but their brains are too small for the big talent. But just because anzo akapenga utofunga kuti anofanira kupenga. Kana wakapenga it doesn't mean unofanira kupenga. Unokwanisa kuve munhu akapenga, but very humble, wakadzikama. Just look at example, people like Oliver Mtukudzi. Akapenga, but akadzikama. And find out even in Christian circles, they fight for his attention. Want to shades kuma Christian functions, but munhu asingatomboimbe gospel one. And yet tinoamwe gospel wacho kuti anenge achimba gospel but hunhu hwavo so.
Yeah,
so it's a pride manje. It kills a lot ningirine ma-artists pauti even kumuudza advice hapana advice anotera just because akumufamba chimhoriswa navanhu vaise muroad anongoti haiwo maproducer no one knows you muroad musaka chichonga ndudzi.
His name is Clive Mono Mukundu. New book out, the second publication of this is called Poor and Famous, and you can find this on all the social media. Perhaps all you have to do is check us out on CFM Stereo. All the links will be there. As an artist, as a manager, as a record label, you need to make sure you get this book and sit down and know what's what. Mono Mukundu, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you very much for having me.
Keep it locked on to CFM Stereo, my station, your station. Afrika Brennan.
I love Afrika Mdara.
Oh,
it was on mine. It was on my personal life.
Facebook. I like documenting stuff.
Oh, it's on my personal Facebook.
Oh, so no.
On yours.
I'm going to do that now.
Oh. Yeah, when to this?
So, do you want to give a final film for a final Nangi for Poor and Famous? What do you want to impart to people with Poor and Famous?
Okay, it's a book that's answering very important questions concerning the music industry in Zimbabwe, where we are getting it wrong, where we can fix things. So, my advice to artists is talent is not enough. You need more than talent. So, that's the stuff that's in the book. So, get the book, get in touch on my social media platforms, and then I'm also selling a PDF version, so it's easy to
like that.
Yeah, it's easy to pass around.
Because no piracy.
No piracy.
No piracy.
Guys, blessed. You've been blessed. I've been blessed. Blessed. You've tagged him. Kuda knows also. Manager.
Faster.
Manager. We thanks, my guy.